Hello and good morning, beautiful people. It's Friday. You made it to the end of the week. Glory be to God. So listen up. You know, my goodness. Yesterday I went out after work, right? Um, I'm gonna tell you all about my experiences because, like, if you have experienced this, you know that this is the truth. So I go to Walmart, um, and while I'm in the aisle where the vitamins and things are at, this lady comes and she's standing, and I can see her looking at me, but then she's trying to pretend like she's looking at vitamins, looking for vitamins, dressed in regular clothing. And so I stand there for a moment, and I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. I pray this lady is not looking at me like she think I'm gonna steal something. So I stand there a little longer. And so then I realize this older white lady comes that's a worker, and she comes to the aisle as well. And I'm standing there and I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. Because I could feel the spirit, like literally, and it was not of God. Um, so I'm standing there a little longer, and they're trying to pretend like they're looking at the vitamins. You follow? So as I'm standing there, the Holy Spirit said, go to another aisle. So I go to another aisle and I'm like, I hope they are not trying to watch me like I'm stealing something when I'm looking to buy. Okay? So I go to another aisle. Lo and behold, God is my witness. The girl dressed in regular clothing. She comes to the aisle and she looks, and I look right at her. And when I look directly at her, she tried to turn and then go the other way. And the Holy Spirit said, this is why I had you come to another aisle, so you would know that you are not assuming this is exactly what it is. They're trying to watch you as if you're in here to steal. Now, what would make you think that I'm stealing? Because I'm black? Yeah. Okay. So I buy my items, see a young lady that I know from this African restaurant, from this shop. And she was like, hello, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time. And, we were talking, and I was like, you were just so beautiful, just beautiful young lady. Right? And she's like, yeah, I've graduated. And I'm like, congratulations. And she actually pointed me out. But be that as it may, I leave Walmart. And so then I go into the Dollar Tree, which is not a Dollar Tree. They really need to change their name. But be that as it may, they really need to change that name. So I go into the Dollar Tree. And I'm walking down the aisle. And this Latino man walks up to me with a gold bracelet and says, is this yours? And the Holy Spirit said, this is how they're grabbing women. And I looked at him and I said, no. And my tone let him know to go the opposite way. You all, be careful. If someone walks up to you and say, did you drop this? Did you lose this? Do not be a fool and lie and say yes. Because the Holy Spirit revealed to me that if I would have lied and said yes, then I would have been a target. And there's a lot of people, and it was a gold bracelet, you all. It was a gold bracelet. You all, there are so many people that will lie and say that something is theirs when someone comes up to them because it's of value. They may come up to you and say, did you drop this money? They may say, did you drop this? For this instance, it was a gold bracelet. And we see that people lie often and be like, yes, it was mine. If I would have said yes, I would have been a target. They were that person was banking on me to lie and say yes to become a target because it was a gold bracelet. Ladies, be careful. So once I leave out the store, I'm like, If someone would have lost that bracelet, why wouldn't they take it up to the cashier? And the Holy Spirit said, because if you would have said yes, you would have been in Target. And I'm like, that's what I was thinking. He was letting me know that I was correct. Because even going to the car, it's still just like, that didn't make sense to me. You all, be careful while going out. You know, the thing about Walmart, like, you people be looking at black folks when we're not even the ones in there to steal. And this is a problem. And so then the Lord had me watch the movie Butler when I got home. And so I'm watching the movie Butler. And I instantly realized we are living in the days where black people have to fight for everything. Why are we still fighting for things in 2026? Stereotyped. You know, it truly makes no sense. We have a problem. We do. And the Holy Spirit reminded me that we have a huge problem with racism. And people want to try to make us think that it's not there, but it is. You know, the Holy Spirit allowed me to experience those things yesterday. And then watch the movie Butler, which I've never watched, never cared to watch. You all gotta hear this thing. To show me, like, it's the same thing now. Fighting for everything as a black person or a person of brown color. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. The color of our skin don't make us less than. We can't help how we were born, how God created us. You know, women need to be careful, be extremely careful, because they are snatching women. So be careful. You know, Lord help us. The Holy Spirit just allowed me to see that, because at the end of the day, I've experienced this when I've gone in churches as well. That same spirit, that racism with certain white people. So that's why the spirit felt familiar to me, because I've witnessed it before. In churches. So he has me speaking about it, because that hidden sin of racism that's going through many of you folks in the church. But you claim you love God, but you dislike people because of the color of their skin. And this is not just white people. This is black people that are racist as well. The most segregated time is on Sunday. Church. Segregated. Having a handful of blacks in an all-white church means nothing. Having a handful of whites in an all-black church means nothing. The churches are the most segregated place. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I hope y'all enjoy this weekend. You know, have the Lord do a heart examination on you. And if there's anything in your heart that is not like God, ask him to take that thing out, do some spiritual heart surgery. Because I've come to find out, as a African American, truly African American, Nigerian American, there's a lot of black Americans that dislike me because of my Nigerian roots. You know, they're okay with me saying my first name, Rosina. But then when they find out it's Akinola as the last name, there's a problem. Yeah. I've dealt with racism from black people as well. Yeah. It's amazing. These are things that people don't like to talk about, or they like to sweep up under the rug. But I've dealt with this racism in churches. In churches. We know what the world does, but this goes on in churches as well. Check your heart, people. Check your heart. Hope you enjoy your weekend.